Healing, does it work? This chapter seeks to dissolve the mystique and mumbo-jumbo that many imagine it to be. And included within it, you've included more of your personal life experiences and how you became involved as a healer. Can you elaborate on this subject?
Yes, I first became interested in what is known as spiritual healing long before I had a knowledge of the meaning and purpose of life, simply because my mother, who had severe arthritis of the hip, total joint disintegration, went to a healer in Watford in Hertfordshire, and after 6 visits she was probably 95% cured and had no more problems, but apart from the occasional ache on a damp day. A very active woman, and this caused me to question how could a person, a man who had no medical knowledge whatsoever, place his hands on my mother, and after 6 visits she was cured of a medical condition that the medical profession could not cure. And in 1968, hip replacement joints were very new and kill or cure at that time. And that set me thinking. Well, some years later, in 1973, destiny put me at a spiritual healing sanctuary, which I have explained in my book, in Chesham in Buckinghamshire, where I was taught spiritual healing and meditation. And spiritual healing is called the laying on of hands. And I wondered how the laying on of hands could help to cure somebody who was sick or suffering. Well, it would appear, as I was taught by my teacher, who was very well versed in Eastern philosophy and a very wise and kind man, told me that particularly from our hands, that from a compassionate person, energies emanate, energies of love, and these have been photographed under what is called Kirlian photography. Under certain conditions, energies of light coming particularly from the fingertips come from a compassionate person's hands, and that when we put our hands near somebody who has got a health problem, those energies flow through from the universe. The Indians call it prana, some people call it divine energy, but it is a natural energy that flows through compassionate people, and it can be utilized to re-energize somebody who is sick and suffering. And the energy flows into the sick person's body and helps to put right that part of the body which is out of frequency, as it's called, whether it be the liver, the heart, bones, muscles, stomach, or whatever. It helps to re-energize that and rebalance. As in the East and the Orient, they were well aware that we had 7 basic spiritual centers, from the base chakra right through to the crown chakra. And these have been known for thousands of years by mystics in the East and the Orient. But the healing energies coming from a healer's hand can help to re-energize those centers, which help every gland and organ in the body. So this energy coming from healer's hands, that is how it helps to heal those who are suffering from a disease or a complaint. And some people it's almost instantaneous, and others it can take several visits. But not everybody, as I found, responds to healing in that nature. Several years of practice, in fact 30 years of practice of meeting many people and laying my hands over them proved a point. But the teacher told me that to scan the body like a metal detector scans for metal, and that when you get to a place that causes a problem, you can feel it either emanating a severe heat or cold in your hand. It picks up, like radar if you like, it picks up that, so you leave your hands there until that changes. If you're picking up severe cold from the area of the person, you leave your hands there and suddenly that cold air will dissipate, and then you know that healing has taken place. Not necessarily a cure, but alleviation of the symptoms can take place as well. So 30 years of talking to healers and going to people in their houses, people coming to me and doing healing sessions in other buildings, and being invited as a guest healer to different places and meeting hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, proved to me that healing is a scientific fact. And having said that, it has been investigated by scientists and eminent scientists who've proven that the healing energies coming from healers' hands can change the atomic structure of things like water. So if it can change the atomic structure of water, it can change the atomic structure of a diseased part within a human body. And it's not a question of faith or believing, because otherwise babies and animals wouldn't be healed, and they are, which proves a point.